Have you ever slipped into the back seat of an Uber, the city lights blurring past like distant memories, only to realize too late that the man behind the wheel isn't just navigating traffic. He's charting a course straight to your worst nightmare, a detour where trust evaporates and survival becomes a gamble with every mile marker. What if that casual ride home from a late-night shift turns into the pivot point of your existence, where a stranger's glance in the rearview mirror strips away your sense of safety, leaving you questioning every shadow that follows you home? This is the harrowing account of Emily, a 26-year-old nurse from Chicago, whose ordinary Uber trip in the drizzling autumn of 2024 became the ride that shattered her world forever. A story pulled from the raw edges of real life, shared anonymously on Reddit's Creepy Encounters and echoed in viral TikToks warning women about the hidden predators in rideshare apps. Emily had just finished a grueling 12-hour shift at Northwestern Memorial Hospital on October 15, 2024. The kind of night where the ER overflowed with flu cases and car crash victims, her scrubs still smelling of antiseptic and stale coffee. It was 11:47 p.m., the wind whipping through the Loop's skyscrapers, carrying the faint chill of Lake Michigan. Exhausted, feet throbbing in her sensible flats, she pulled out her phone and tapped the Uber app, craving the simple comfort of her tiny studio apartment in Wicker Park, just a 20-minute drive away. The app pinged back almost instantly. A black Toyota Camry, license plate ending in 723. Driver rated 4.8 stars from 1,247 rides, ETA 2 minutes. Emily leaned against the hospital's brick wall, scrolling through her playlist to drown out the distant wail of ambulances, selecting a mellow indie track by Phoebe Bridgers to unwind her frayed nerves. The car pulled up smoothly, headlights cutting through the mist like accusatory fingers, and the driver, a stocky man in his late 40s, with a salt and pepper beard and a faded Cubs cap pulled low, leaned over to pop the passenger door. "Emily?" he asked, his voice gravelly, laced with a faint accent she couldn't place, maybe Midwestern with an edge. She nodded, sliding into the back seat, the leather cool against her skin, and buckled up without a second thought. "Wicker Park, please. North Avenue and Damen," she confirmed, her voice soft from fatigue. He nodded in the mirror, his eyes catching hers for a beat too long, dark and unreadable under the cap's brim, before pulling away from the curb. The first few blocks were unremarkable. The hum of the engine, the rhythmic swish of wipers against the rain-slicked windshield, the city unfolding in neon streaks, pizza joints glowing amber, bar hoppers laughing under umbrellas. Emily sank deeper into the seat, her head lolling against the window, eyelids heavy as she mentally replayed the shift. The elderly man who'd coded twice before stabilizing, the toddler with the broken arm from a playground fall, the endless beeps of monitors demanding attention. She didn't notice at first when the car veered slightly east instead of west, bypassing the usual Milwaukee Avenue route toward the shadowed industrial sprawl near the Chicago River. The app's GPS on her phone showed a minor delay, traffic, it claimed, but something nagged at her, a prickling at the base of her skull like the prelude to a migraine. Blinking awake, she glanced at the map. They were heading toward the 606 Trail's edge, where warehouses squatted like forgotten beasts, their graffiti-tagged walls lit sporadically by flickering sodium lamps. Excuse me, is this the fastest way?" she asked, her tone polite but edged with unease, sitting up straighter. The driver didn't turn, but his shoulders tensed visibly in the rear view, his fingers tightening on the wheel until the knuckles paled. "Yeah, shortcut. Avoids the construction on Division," he replied, his voice flatter now, devoid of the earlier warmth, accelerating just enough to make the seatbelt dig into her shoulder. Emily frowned, cross-checking her phone. No construction alerts, and the app's blue line clearly arced westward. Her heart stuttered, a nurse's instinct kicking in, the same one that spotted fevers in flushed cheeks or sepsis in subtle tremors. "Can we stick to the app's route? I prefer it," she pressed, her voice firmer, fingers already hovering over the emergency button buried in the Uber menu. He chuckled then, low and rumbling, like stones shifting in a landslide. And that's when the air in the car thickened, charged with something unspoken and foul. Relax, sweetheart. I know these streets better than your little map. Been driving them for years. The endearment slithered out, oily and uninvited, and Emily's stomach twisted. She shifted away from the door, as if distance could shield her, her mind racing through protocols. Share location live with her roommate Jess, dial 911 subtly, scream if needed. But the signal bars on her phone dipped to 2 as they plunged deeper into the desolation, rusted chain-link fences rattling in the wind, empty lots strewn with shattered glass glinting like teeth. The driver started talking then, unprompted, his words spilling out in a monologue that felt rehearsed, predatory. Long night, huh? Hospital gig? Bet you see all kinds, broken bodies, desperate folks. Ever wonder what it's like on the other side? Driving through the dark, picking up strays like you, carrying secrets no one else hears. His eyes flicked up again, holding hers in the mirror, and in that gaze, Emily saw it. Hunger, not for food or fares, but for control, for the thrill of a cornered prey. She forced a laugh, brittle as autumn leaves. Yeah, it's tough, just want to get home. But he didn't stop, veering onto a potholed side street lined with derelict factories, the Camry's tires crunching over gravel like bones underfoot. Home's overrated. Empty bed, cold sheets. Me? I got stories that'd curl your hair, like this one girl. Nurse, too. Funny coincidence. Thought she was tough, but by the end, well, let's just say she learned to trust the wheel. The implication hung heavy, and Emily's breath caught, her free hand fumbling for the door handle. Child-locked, of course, a feature she'd read about in safety blogs but dismissed as paranoia. Panic bloomed hot in her chest, visions flashing, headlines of assaults, stats from Uber's own 2024 safety report admitting 3,045 sexual assaults logged globally that year, underreported because victims like her feared the backlash, the doubt. "Stop the car, now, let me out," she demanded, voice steady despite the tremor in her limbs, thumb mashing the emergency SOS. The app chimed softly, help en route, location shared, but the driver swerved sharply, killing the engine in the shadow of a looming silo, the world outside reduced to ink-black void pierced by distant train horns. He twisted in his seat, face half illuminated by the dashboard glow, revealing a jagged scar snaking from temple to jaw, eyes gleaming with a feverish intensity. "Out? Here? You'd never make it on foot, doll. Walk with me a bit first. Talk. I can make your night memorable." The door unlocked with a mocking beep, but as Emily lunged for it, he lunged too, hand clamping her wrist like a vice, breath hot and sour against her cheek. "Don't make this hard." Time fractured then, her scream ripping free, raw and primal, echoing off concrete walls, his grip tightening, nails digging crescents into her skin, the frantic scramble as she twisted free, elbow connecting with his nose in a sickening crunch. Blood sprayed the console, and he howled, recoiling just enough for her to tumble out, knees scraping pavement, phone clutched like a talisman. She bolted into the night, lungs burning, feet pounding uneven asphalt, the driver's curses chasing her like hounds. "Bitch, you'll regret that!" Branches clawed at her arms in the overgrown lots, her scrubs tearing on barbed wire, but she didn't stop, not until the wail of sirens pierced the gloom. Uber's response team police dispatched in under 4 minutes, a miracle amid the chaos. They found her huddled by a dumpster, sobbing, the Camry's taillights vanishing into the labyrinth. The driver, one Marcus Hale 48, was apprehended 2 days later at O'Hare, his profile scrubbed from the app after 14 complaints spanning 2 years. Women who'd felt the same chill, but hadn't escalated their 1-star reviews buried in algorithms favoring volume over veracity. Emily pressed charges, assault, attempted kidnapping, his priors surfacing like ghosts, DUI in 2019, restraining order from an ex in 2022. Court dates loom in Cook County Superior, January 2025, but the real trial is nightly in her mind, replaying the what-ifs, the inches between escape and oblivion. She quit night shifts, started therapy via BetterHelp, installed a personal alarm on her keychain that shrieks 120 decibels. Friends rally with group walks, but solitude terrifies now, every car horn an echo of that night. Uber issued a $500 safety credit and a vague apology email, citing their zero-tolerance policy. Yet a 2025 LA Times investigation revealed 9,000 U.S. assaults since 2017, with only 1% leading to driver bans, corporate calculus over human frailty. Emily's story went viral on TikTok in November 2024, racking 2.3 million views under Darshtuba horror, commenters sharing echoes, the Phoenix woman ditched in the desert, the Seattle rider drugged via HVAC vent. "I survived," she posted, "but part of me didn't. Ladies, check the route, share live, trust the twist in your gut. It's louder than any engine. And you, listening now, feel that twist? Recall your last ride, the driver who lingered at drop-off, the one who asked for your number, just in case. These aren't anomalies. A RAIN study pegs rideshare assaults at 1 in 12 for female users under 30, predators exploiting the gig economy's anonymity. Emily's ride changed her forever. Hypervigilant, resilient, a voice amplifying the silenced. As she rebuilds, one therapy session at a time, she urges, arm yourself with apps like Be Safe, ride shares with friends, demand accountability from tech giants profiting on peril. Her scar, faint on her wrist, fades slower than the fear. A tattoo of survival in a world where convenience courts catastrophe. What shadows lurk in your next ping? Listen close. The hum of tires might whisper warnings you can't afford to ignore. This tale clocks in raw, unfiltered, a testament to one woman's fracture and fight, urging you to scan profiles twice, verify plates thrice, and never ever silence that inner alarm. Emily's not alone. Her story joins a chorus demanding reform, mandatory live video, AI route monitors, swift bans. Until then, ride wary, because the wheel turns both ways, and not all detours lead back. Have you ever hailed an Uber in the dead of night, the app's glow, your only beacon in a storm of fatigue, only to lock eyes with a driver whose stare lingers like a predator's promise, turning a routine commute into a descent where every probing question peels back your defenses, exposing vulnerabilities you never meant to share? What if that seemingly friendly chat veers into confessions that chill your blood, revelations from a stranger who knows your fears before you voice them, transforming the backseat into a confessional booth from hell? This is the bone-deep terror of Jamal, a 31-year-old software developer from Miami's Wynwood district, whose fateful Uber on September 27, 2024, etched scars no code can debug, drawn from his gut-wrenching Reddit thread on our Uber and amplified in BuzzFeed compilations of passenger nightmares. Jamal had wrapped a brutal coding sprint at his startup's co-working space around 1:15 a.m., the humid air thick with the residue of all-nighters. Empty Red Bull cans, flickering screens, the distant thump of bass from nearby clubs. Brickell Avenue pulsed with after-hours energy, but exhaustion clawed at him, his eyes burning from 18 straight hours debugging a fintech algorithm gone rogue. He fired up the Uber app, craving his one bedroom in Little Havana, a 15-minute jaunt through palm-fringed streets, the scent of cafecito lingering in his dreams. The match was swift. A silver Hyundai Tucson, plate Florida 491ZX, driver 4.9 stars from 892 trips, ETA 90 seconds. Jamal stepped into the drizzle, hoodie pulled low, phone in hand as the SUV glided up, its tinted windows reflecting the neon haze like black mirrors. The driver, a wiry man in his mid-30s with a neatly trimmed goatee and a gold chain glinting under his collar, flashed a wide smile through the open window. "Jamal, right? Hop in, brother. Rough night?" The greeting was warm, almost brotherly, and Jamal, shoulders slumping with relief, climbed into the back, the AC blasting a welcome Arctic front against the sticky heat. "Yeah, coding hell. Little Havana, off Calle Ocho," he murmured, buckling up and queuing up a lo-fi hip-hop playlist to zone out. The Tucson merged smoothly into traffic, the initial stretch idyllic. Salsa rhythms spilling from open bar windows, graffiti murals blurring into vibrant streaks, the occasional flash of a cigar shop's ember glow. Jamal exhaled, letting the motion lull him, his mind drifting to weekend plans, a pickup game at Bayfront Park, tacos from Versailles. But 5 minutes in, as they hooked south onto Southwest 8th Street, the driver's eyes began their dance in the rear view. Quick darts at first, appraising, then lingering, tracing Jamal's profile like a scanner cataloging data points. Dev work, huh? Bet you pullin' bank. Me? This gig's my side hustle. Nights like this, I hear everything. Secrets. Sins. The stuff folks bury deep. The words landed casual, but Jamal shifted, unease flickering like a glitch in his periphery. He mumbled a non-committal, yeah, pays the bills, eyes on his phone, but the driver pressed on, undeterred, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial timbre. Bills? Man, life's more than code. You got that look, haunted, debts, or something darker? I see it all the time. Last dude, accountant like you, spilled about skimming funds. By the end of the ride, free, like I absorbed it. Jamal's playlist skipped, a track glitching, and he laughed it off, forced. Nah, just tired. App says 10 minutes left. But the questions escalated, surgical now. Single? No ring. Bet the ladies love that build. Ever ghost someone? Or get ghosted? I could tell you about the one who vanished. Poof, mid-ride. The SUV veered onto a quieter artery, away from the main drag's lights, toward the shadowed fringes where motels huddled like guilty secrets, and Jamal's app beeped a route deviation. Minor, it insisted, but his pulse quickened. The driver's reflection sharpened, eyes locking with predatory precision, as if reading source code in Jamal's tensed jaw. You look familiar, bro. Seen you at the clubs? Or maybe online? LinkedIn? Twitter? Folks like you? Always connected, but so alone. Jamal hadn't partied in months, but the certainty unnerved him, sweat prickling despite the chill. He fumbled for the share trip feature, pinging it to his sister in Orlando, but bars wavered, 1, 0, as cell towers thinned. The driver hummed then, a dissonant tune off-key, fingers drumming the wheel like Morse code for malice. Relax, we're golden. Ever need a fix? I know spots, quick highs, no traces, or lows, the real talk that unburdens. Jamal's mind reeled. Uber's 2024 audit logged 2,800 harassment claims in Florida alone, yet 70% unresolved per a Miami Herald expose, predators thriving in the app's blind spots. Pull over. Ending the ride here, he stated, voice edged steel, thumb on emergency. But the driver swerved into a desolate pull-off near a canal, engine idling like a predator's purr and twisted halfway, chain swinging like a pendulum. End it? We're just starting. Tell me yours. I already know mine's worse. That kid I dropped off last week? Never made it home. App said complete, but... The confession trailed, laced with glee, and Jamal's world narrowed to fight or flight. Door handle jammed, divider flimsy, the canal's black water mocking escape. Visions assaulted him, news clips of vanishings, the 2025 NCMEC report on 1,200 rideshare abductions attempted nationwide. What the fuck, man? Let me out! He roared, slamming the partition, the cracked spiderwebbing faintly. The driver lunged then, hand snaking through the gap like a serpent, grasping for Jamal's collar, breath reeking of menthols and malice. Share or suffer, coder boy. Your fears. Mine now. Chaos erupted. Jamal's elbow shattered the divider's edge, shards raining. He kicked the seat back, connecting with ribs in a thud. The driver recoiled, cursing in Spanish-inflected rage. Puto, you'll pay! As Jamal wrenched the door, tumbling onto gravel, phone skittering but alive. He sprinted into mangroves, thorns raking flesh, sirens already keening. Uber's ping traced, cops en route in 3.2 minutes flat. The Tucson fled, but plates traced to Raul Mendoza, 35, nabbed at a Hialeah impound lot, his phone yielding 47 victim logs, a digital trophy case of stalked profiles scraped from LinkedIn. Jamal's report ignited an FBI probe. Mendoza, Ex-con for stalking in 2021, exploited Uber's lax facial rec, targeting solos via app heuristics. Charges piled. Attempted assault, cyber harassment, priors unearthed like landmines. Court in Miami-Dade, March 2025. But Jamal's code now includes paranoia, VPNs for logins, no more late rides, therapy unpacking the violation of shared space turned siege. Uber comped $300, a boilerplate "we're sorry." But internal leaks via ProPublica 2025 reveal 15,000 U.S. drivers flagged yet active, profit over peril. Jamal's Reddit post, November 2024, hit 150K upvotes. Eyes in the mirror aren't casual. Demand stops, blast locations, carry pepper gel. I coded my way out. You might need to fight. Echoes flood comments. The Atlanta dev cornered in a garage. The Boston coders vanishing dashcam. Stats scream. 25% of male writers report unease per a 2024 Pew survey. Minorities higher at 32%. Jamal's ride rewired him, vigilant, vocal, founding a GitHub repo for rideshare safety scripts. As he debugs life anew, he warns, probe too deep, and strangers unearth your core. Your next glance, innocent or invasive, heed the hum, its heartbeat or harbinger. This narrative, unsparing, spotlights one man's unraveling and reclamation, calling for encrypted apps, real-time audits, bans etched in stone. Until reform rolls, ride armored, because confessions can kill, and the back seat's a vault for the damned. Have you ever piled into an Uber with your partner after a date night escape? Laughter still bubbling from shared jokes, only for the night to fracture when a phantom figure erupts from the fog, turning your safe haven on wheels into an arena of raw, unscripted violence that binds you closer in terror yet frays the edges of normalcy forever? What if a glitchy app summons not just delay, but danger incarnate, where an ex's grudge hijacks your ride, transforming routine into a high-stakes chase that questions every digital tether we trust? Behold the pulse-pounding ordeal of Lena and Marcus, a 29-year-old marketing duo from Toronto's Annex, whose November 3, 2024 Uber nightmare, chronicled on Let's Not Meet podcast, and Reddit's Our Uber drivers became the harrowing pivot altering their love's landscape amid suburban shadows. The evening started idyllic, a 7 p.m. screening of a rom-com at Tiff Bell Lightbox, buttery popcorn and stolen kisses in the dark. Marcus's arm a steady anchor around Lena's shoulders. By 10:45 p.m., as credits rolled, a crisp fog rolled in from Lake Ontario, veiling Queen Street West in ethereal white, the couple emerging hand in hand, buzzed on post-movie wine and whispers of future trips. Uber, Lena suggested, phone already summoning, the app hiccuping briefly, destination pre-filled as Marcus's old address from university days. But they chuckled it off, correcting to their cozy Victorian in Roncesvalles village, a 25-minute trek through leaf-strewn avenues. The Ping, white Ford Transit van, Ontario plate B6784P, driver 4.7 stars from 623 rides, ETA 4 minutes. The van loomed through the mist like a specter, bulkier than sedans, tinted rears swallowing light, and the driver, a burly 42-year-old with a Toronto Raptors hoodie and backward cap, verified names gruffly, waving them aboard. Marcus claimed shotgun for the legroom. Lena middleback, the interior a faint must of fast food and fog-damp vinyl. Movie good? The driver grunted, easing into traffic, wipers thwacking a somber rhythm. Marcus grinned, recapping plot twists, Lena chiming in with spoilers, the van gliding past indie bookstores and glowing patisseries, frost-etching window edges. But 7 minutes deep, on a residential loop near High Park, the vehicle lurched off-route, braking hard outside a pitch-black bungalow 2 blocks astray, porch light dead, curtains drawn like closed eyes. "Wrong spot," Marcus queried, but before reply, the side door exploded open, a figure charging from the gloom, gaunt, mid-30s, wild-eyed in a threadbare jacket, fists clenched like weapons. The driver reversed wildly, gravel spraying, the intruder lunging to pound the hood with feral roars. "Thief! My van, you bastard!" Denting metal in frenzy. Lena screamed, primal and piercing, phone whipping out for 911. Marcus yanked his handle. Locked, child safety engaged. A trap snapping shut. The van fishtailed onto the main drag. The attacker pursuing on foot, silhouette warping in fog. His bellows, "Give it back!" fading as acceleration surged. "What the actual fuck?" Marcus bellowed, pounding the dash. Lena's call connected mid-sob. "Help! Uber chase! Madman attacking! High Park now!" Dispatch locked GPS, but adrenaline surged toxic. Was this random? Staged? The driver's cap slipped, unveiling a puckered scar across his brow, accent slipping from neutral to clipped American twang as he snarled, "App fuck up, ex-roomie, hacked my rides. He's unhinged, been tailing for weeks." Lies or truth? The transit weaved erratically, horns blaring from startled drivers, Lena's free hand clutching Marcus's seat, knuckles bone white. Doubts festered. The decal boasted 505s, but how many glitches lurked? Marcus spotted a dash cam. Off, red light dark, and fury boiled. "Stop! We're out!" But the driver floored it, veering into Ossington's narrower veins, the ex's phantom pursuit amplifying every shadow. Lena's breaths came shallow, flashbacks to news. Toronto Star's 2024 expose on 1-200 rideshare incidents, 18% vehicle disputes ensnaring innocence. The van clipped a curb, fishtailing anew, and Marcus braced, whispering, "Love you, stay close." Minutes stretched elastic, fog coiling like smoke signals, until they screeched into a lit Esso station, bailing amid exhaust fumes, the driver gunning away without farewell. Police swarmed in 6 minutes, piecing the puzzle. Driver 1, Derek Voss, 42. Van co-owned with ex-roomie Kyle Trent, 36, amid a bitter split. Trent, tech-savvy, spoofed app pings via VPN, ambushing pickups in Vendetta. Uber suspended Voss pending probe. Trent charged with mischief and assault. Arraignment December 2024 in Old City Hall. Lena and Marcus. PTSD's grip. Nights jolted by knocks, fog triggering freezes, couples therapy unpacking the bond forged in flight. Uber's $200 credit and enhanced verification email rang hollow. Transport Canada's 2025 report flagged 15% Ontario incidents as ownership beefs, riders collateral. Their podcast spot, January 2025, drew 50K downloads. Glitches kill, verify vans, demand cams on, pair rides. Comments cascade. The Vancouver couple's hijacked lift, the Calgary pair's stalker surge. Stats howl, 22% couples report escalations per a 2024 York University study. Their ride remapped love. Fiercer, fortified, Marcus coding a route alert bot, Lena advocating for app duress signals. As they heal, hand in unbreaking hold, they implore, glitches aren't glitches. Fight the fog because one wrong ping can phantom your peace. Have you ever flagged an Uber amid holiday fireworks frenzy? The sky cracking with celebratory booms that mask the internal explosions of poor judgment, only to find the driver as volatile as the night, his slurred secrets steering you not home, but into a maelstrom where celebration curdles to catastrophe, forever altering the spark in your step. What if a buzzed benevolence leads to a bedlam where the line between festivity and felony blurs, leaving you scarred by the very freedom you chased? This is the explosive saga of Riley, a 27-year-old event planner from Austin's South Congress, whose July 4, 2024, Uber Inferno, vented on Quora and BuzzFeed's Passenger Horrors, ignited a blaze that consumed her carefree core. The day ignited with Americana zeal, backyard barbacoa at a buddy's Zilka spread, brisket slow-smoked, Shiner Bock flowing, Roman candles arcing over Lady Bird Lake like defiant stars. By midnight, Riley, sundress singed at hems from stray sparks, buzzed golden from 3 beers, and the electric hum of live fiddles tapped Uber for her bungalow off East 6th, a 12-minute dash through revelry's roar. Surge pricing bid at 1.7x, but fatigue trumped thrift, the app locked. Battered Ford F-150, Texas plate 3R952K, Driver 4.6 stars from 410 halls. ETA 3 minutes. The truck rumbled up amid confetti storms, bed cluttered with crushed Coors and bottle rockets. The driver, a lanky 28-year-old with ink-sleeved arms and eyes red-rimmed as fireworks afterglow, blared Garth Brooks, slurring, "Riley? Climb aboard, cowgirl. Let's boom this town." She laughed, mistaking slurry for southern charm, vaulting into the extended cab, the vinyl sticky under thighs, seatbelt clicking like a loaded chamber. "East 6th and Waller, home sweet chaos," she directed, cranking her window to catch firework whistles. The F-150 peeled into the fray, initial miles a pyrotechnic parade, crowds cheering under Barton Springs arches, sparkler-wielding kids darting crosswalks, the air acrid with gunpowder and grilled corn. Riley whooped at a mega-burst, phone capturing flares, but as they hit I-35's ramp, conversation ignited volatile. "Wild night, eh? Fireworks ain't nothing. Real bangs? That's life, girl. You ever handle heat? Like the kind that scars?" His drawl thickened, veering from banter to barbed, and Riley shifted, buzz souring. "Just fun, man. App says 8 minutes. But he exited unbidden onto a service road, gravel gnashing like teeth, isolation creeping as fireworks muffled to echoes. "Fun? Nah, that's facade. Me? Lost my girl to some vet. Boom. Gone. Now I chase highs, you feel? Passengers like you. Fresh meat for stories." The truck lurched, his foot heavy on pedal, weaving lanes as rants escalated. Ex's betrayal, bar fights, accidents glossed dark. One clip too close, and poof, lights out. Riley's gut knotted. Uber's 2024 holiday surge report noted 4,500 impaired driver flags, yet activations lagged 60% per Austin Chronicle digs. "Slow down, wrong way," she urged, emergency button primed, but he hammered accelerator, truck bucking over ruts, fireworks booms, syncing with her heartbeat's thunder. "Heat's the cure, planner girl. Plan this. Your smile's fire. Share it, or I'll take it." Lunge came sudden, hand clawing from console, nails raking her arm. Riley dodged, knee slamming his thigh, scream lost in a proximate mortar burst. Chaos cascaded. She grabbed the wheel's edge, truck fishtailing into brush, his free hand flailing, "Bitch, stay!" Connecting with jaw in a crack that tasted copper. Stars exploded inward as fireworks outward. She kicked dash, horn blaring endless, phone tumbling but auto-dialing 911 amid scuffle. The F-150 nosed into a ditch, engine whining death, driver slumping dazed from impact, Riley scrambling out bloodied, sundress torn, sprinting barefoot toward distant cheers. Cops swarming in 4.1 minutes. APD tracing plates to Tyler Tyke Harlan, 28, DUI repeat offender. His cab a rolling arsenal of empties and brass. Assault charge stuck. Trial February 2025 in Travis County. Priors, 2022, road rage assault. 2023, suspended license. Riley's ER visit tallied, fractured mandible, 12 stitches. PTSD's shadow lingering in flinches at loud pops. Uber deactivated Harlan, $400 comp. But 2025 Tex.E audit exposed 2,800 impaired rides statewide. Apps blind to breathalyzers. Her Quora post, August 2024, viral at 300K reads, "Buzz blinds, sober up, verify vibes, blast SOS. My spark survived. Yours?" Replies swarm. The Denver woman's holiday hijack. The Nashville planner's punch-out. Stats seer. 28% holiday assaults per NSC 2024. Women, 65%. Riley's ride reforged her. Sober planner now. Founding sober event collectives, jaw wired but will iron. As she heals amid Austin's hum, she rallies, holidays haze horrors, designate, detect, defy. Because one surge can surge to survival's brink, and freedom's fireworks flicker frail.